Hello, 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 hello. This is the Okay live stream. We are here coloring Wendy Wonka, Chapter 2, Issue 6. We're getting up there in the issues, and we're almost to the ending of this chapter. How will it end? That is the question. This is Issue 6. I don't actually have a title for this issue yet. The issue is TBD. And we're working here on coloring, shading, and you can see here it's flat colored and this part is shaded. That's what we're going to be doing today, is just shading everything. You can see this panel is all shaded, and that's what we're going to be doing here. All right. This comic is going to have some hourglass expansion, some upper body expansion. What else is it going to have? It's going to have some other stuff involving the upper body expansion, and it's going to have something like an age regression, a little bit of age play in there. Let's see, it's going to be available April 30th. That is pre-order with the first 8 pages ready, and the first 8 pages is one act, it's one scene, so it will be kind of evenly split up between the first half and the second half of this comic. So that's April 30th. It's going to be out. That's a Saturday. That's coming up in like 3 days. So I'm really squeezing time to get this out and available by then. Let's see what's going on in the world. You know, you might be watching this 5 years from now. What's going on now is the Johnny Depp trial. What else is happening? Right now, Ukraine invasion is going on. That's Russia invading Ukraine, not vice versa. Let's see what is going on. That's mostly it. I can't think of anything else dominating the headlines right now. I am kind of keeping in touch with the Johnny Depp trial. That's very interesting, and it's pretty boring to watch, actually. But I find the whole story very interesting. It's weird to see Johnny Depp in a courtroom, and I kind of hope he's going to come out of this on top. I don't know about how you feel, but that's where I am. From what I've seen, it sounds like he's more credible than Amber in this whole shebang. So anyway, here we go. We're going to start coloring. I'm using this basic brush. I think all Photoshops come preloaded with it. I've created an 8 size, and I just adjust it. A little bit of a less hardness on there. And, you know, in fact, I think I eventually made it darker because I wasn't happy with how dark the shading was. But I think that's started on the next page. I'm going to just keep it this same darkness to keep with the continuity the same. All right. And let's figure out where the light source is coming from. Down here, we see it coming from this corner. Let's have the light source kind of coming from her mouth. That way it'll feel like it's like an explosion out of her mouth. Not into her mouth. All right, here we go. We've got the light source over here, and some more okay news. Next month, we will finish this comic. This is, you know, like the first half of the comic, the first 8 pages. And we're going to finish the second 8-page half next month. It takes me about a month to do all 8 pages. It's a long process to make a comic, you know, at least a comic the way I do these comics. If I was just doing like a sketchy comic, I could probably do it in probably 2 weeks. No, probably a week and a half, actually. Yeah, probably like 10 days I'd be done with the comic. But inking is a long process. Coloring is probably actually the shortest process of the comic making process. Or should I say shortest part of the process? And it goes by really fast, too. I have someone who helps me flat color these pages most of the time, if their schedule allows. So I do have help flat coloring, which is a big help, which means I can like save 2 hours for every hour they put in, because I'm working 1 hour while they work 1 hour, and so I get 2 hours ahead. So that's very helpful. All right, we're working on this. We're gonna go ahead and give her dress a little bit of a shine. Kind of make it look very latexy, kind of like a plastic jelly. Kind of reminds me of like a fruit jelly thing. A balloon around her waist. All right, now let's do some hair. Okay, I'm just gonna get a very light color. I'm not gonna really change the hue here. You know, a lot of times with like skin color, you'll change it to more of a yellow because it just kind of helps enhance the coloration. I could try that. Maybe we should. I don't think it's not gonna make too much of a difference because it's like white, near white. All right. Oh, I forgot to mention, next month we will also start the next Tales from the Crypt Keeper contest, because I need to be starting the script on that in late, like July. Probably start, I'll probably choose the winners by mid-July and then start on the script. And then once July's up, then I got to start the comic on Tales from the Crypt Keeper, I think it's going to be number 12. And some people have asked me, who are fans of the series, do you know when the contest is going to be? And is there anything you're looking for in the story ideas? And the answer to that is yes and yes. I know the contest will begin mid-May. That's next month, as Wendy Wonka is finishing up, and it will probably run from mid-May to mid-July, and then the next comic will be started in September. And that way it'll probably be done by Halloween. I might have time to do some fun Halloween things. I never have time to do fun Halloween things anymore. It's always like, oh, I'm working on a deadline, I don't have time to do it. So maybe that would be so fun if I had time. I never have time anymore. Never. But the way everything, I guess that's another world headline. The world headline of incoming recession and inflation everywhere. But I don't want to talk about that. That kind of stinks. Okay, so we've got her hair done. You saw the brush I use for that. I like to use this, I don't know what it is. It's like a sponge brush looking thing. Now we're going to move on to skin tones. And I've actually got both these girls' skin tone exactly the same, because I kind of see Wendy and this girl like the Charlie and Willie characters, kind of a lot of similarities, and she's kind of who Wendy chooses, I guess you might say. I mean, it's not the same story, but there's a lot of similarities between their relationship. So we got to find, there it is. There's her skin tone. And to find the skin tone over there, I'll just kind of show you what I do. I pull up here. So this is like a tan, peachy orange for a Caucasian skin color. I would go to a darker red for that. And that's what I would do. You see, I think the real thing I'm using is actually more red and a little more dark. But that's the process of choosing a skin tone. A lot of people just have preset like color swatches, which is very helpful. But you don't have to do that if you just kind of have a process. Unless you need it. I'm not trying to knock that. That's a good practice to be in. But it's also more important to know how you get those swatches. All right, so we're having the light source be her mouth. So we're gonna have an under lighting situation going on with her face. And with that kind of lighting, I do that a lot in the Tales from the Crypt Keeper series because it's like the horror thing and you try to keep with the horror feel. There we go. So that is the underlit effect. You can get right under the nose. That's like if you're holding a flashlight under your mouth and trying to tell a scary story. For some reason, it's a lot scarier when there's a light under your face. I don't know why. We have weird brains. Psychology. Science. Okay, so here we go. Their skin. We got Wendy's skin. Now we're going to try to create the light source still coming from over here. So we're going to just kind of completely darken her face on this side. Might just put her whole hand in shadow. Did I mention I don't think I actually got to the point I was trying to make earlier with the Tales from the Crypt Keeper contest. The next issue 12 will be featuring 2 stories, and this time both of them will have age regression as a feature. If you're not interested in Tales from the Crypt Keeper, I'm gonna just stop talking about that now. Sorry, I didn't get to my point earlier. Had to just get that in there. I'm sure some people were like, "Wait, what? He never talked about it. Am I going crazy?" All right, we're gonna kind of give her hair a little bit darkness under there. But yeah, I was saying also, like, the idea of doing something fun for Halloween as far as art goes, that would be awesome. Like, I have played around with the idea of doing a spin the wheel kind of thing because I was just thinking one day, like, I wonder if they have a website where that just allows you to create a wheel to spin and put different options on there. And they do. There's a website. You can just Google wheel spinning custom thing in there, and yeah, they do. You can create an account and save your wheels, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. We're gonna have to incorporate this somehow. But a lot of people have asked as well for a series like Tales from the Crypt Keeper for an expansion kind of thing. And I think we should do that, you know. I think it's a very fun format where you take ideas that, fans have, and then you kind of just build on those ideas. It just helps you kind of see, like, what fans of the series are looking for, and in that way, you get them involved and you make sure you're doing stuff that they are looking for. Oh, hey, thank you. I feel like I'm actually going kind of slow because I'm talking too, but let's just kind of put all of this in the back shadow over here. Today is Thursday, and I believe I'm going to finish all the pages shading except for the backgrounds. I usually like to save the backgrounds for last. As you can see here, I've shaded everything but the backgrounds. That way, if I need to just create one background and, kind of copy and paste and do edits as I paste, and it's not as easy as copy and pasting, I promise. I'm not, I still do a lot of work, but on these, but copy and paste is a huge help and a time saver. And so, I like to get that part in and done I'm just going to put her lower leg in shadow right down there. So let's get that done. There. I think that's a pretty strong light source now. We're going to get a little bit in there. Might kind of fill that in a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we're going to move on. Let's move on to her gloves and her stockings, I guess. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. I'm going to lose the softness because like the kind of the leatherish look we're going for doesn't have very smooth you know, like gradations. Okay, let's put a little bit of backlighting kind of situation there. And why don't we pull up a giant 177, pulling up a giant kind of like a shading tool. It's a airbrush tool pretty much, and it just allows that very gentle shade. I should probably put this all in shadow back there. There we go. And now I'm going to pull a very bright highlight in. I'm going to use a different brush than the airbrush one. It's going to be way too soft. So we'll pull that with just a little bit of a hardness cutoff. And when you use brushes like this, it feels very cartoony. And for this kind of stuff, that's good, I think. That might, I think I'm messing that up. I should probably go with a brush that's semi-transparent for down there. I'm going to go with a low flow brush. I'm going to change the flow up here. I don't know if you can see that, but this is where you change the flow and the opacity. I'm going to do that down here. The flow is basically how hard you press whenever you're pressing your pen down. I don't know what that compares to traditionally speaking. Trying to think. Basically like a very wet marker. Like if you push a wet marker down and leave it there for like a Sharpie, like a permanent marker. The longer you push down on that and the harder you push, you definitely get a more, it like bleeds through everything. So if you're trying not to bleed through the paper, you try to go really quick. That's the same thing as flow, pretty much. That's how you explain flow. Okay, so now we're moving on to her little dress thing. And how I do her dress, there's 2 stripes going down the front of her dress. And so I've, fixed my flow situation. And I just kind of throw 2 curves on there because that's a curved surface. And there we go. If you could see more of the front, I would put the other one on the side, but I feel like you'd only see one right there. So now that we have the 2 stripes, I'm going to move on to our multiply layer. I always do that in yellow just for, just to aid my memory, I guess, to make things fast. And for the shading on here, multiply layers are different. So we're going to go with something kind of purpley. And I go with purple because blue darkened by purple works well, and then red darkened by purple also works well. And just kind of gives a colorful shadow. And it gives a nice little complicated effect there as it goes across the stripe. All right, let's see. Reading some comments, just a second. Oh yeah. So the backgrounds. I'm also thinking a lot of these panels have very similar backgrounds. So I was kind of hoping there might be at least one or two panels where I could just copy and paste. The thing that comes up is no characters have the same pose. So I could copy and paste that background onto here, but it's going to have the outline of those characters back there, which is not going to work. So you kind of have to create a whole background, and then you can just kind of copy and paste it and edit it a little bit. But I like to, I'll probably just start with the background here since I'm doing a video on it. All right, so for her clothes, the blonde's clothes, I'm also going to use the multiply layer just to make things go quickly. She's kind of the inverse of her dress over here, the blue and pink stripes. She's like purple and pink. So I'm going to use the same kind of purple multiply layer to help create a shadow here. There we go. Can you hear my neighbor's chickens? I've got chickens like 10 feet outside my window. That was a very bad situation when they first came, when they first arrived, because they thought it would be a good idea to have a rooster in there. Okay. All right. I'm sort of not happy with that. There we go. We'll be okay. That'll be okay. That will be okay. Okay. Now we're working on her. Got a phone call. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Had to take a phone call. Try to color, kind of autopilot my brain as I talk. All right, here we go. So again, the light source should be the mouth. So we're going to kind of put her arm back here in shadow. Put this side of her face in shadow. And actually that should be a teeth. White teeth. She's got sparkly teeth. Man, keeping your teeth clean is expensive. It is so expensive. A lot easier to just color them white. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna kind of divide this into 4 instead of 2. At least that's how it starts. Got soda over here. How loud is my microphone? Are you hearing me sip my drink? Is it that loud? Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. There we go. I was watching Stone Cold on YouTube this morning. Red Letter Media put out a thing where they watched Stone Cold, and it looked too good to pass up. So many bodies flying out of windows, people getting thrown, explosions. Okay. There we go. Actually, that needs to be a little softer. Sometimes on surfaces like this that I'm working on, I will use a different hardness on the brush and come in and, well, I'll just use the airbrush tool. I'll make it small and kind of give a very soft edge over here, meaning it doesn't get squeezed in so tight. And I think everything around here is probably getting squeezed tight, so probably won't use that anywhere else. But I could just kind of slightly darken this to help kind of make the foreground pop just a little bit better. There we go. And I'm gonna after this, I'm gonna do another recording. It won't be live, but I'm gonna do one more recording of a page further down the road with a little bit of spoilers, and that I will release like a week or 2 from now, just so it doesn't spoil the comic too early. I feel like this is a nice beginning point. All right, I think that's gonna be good for now. Well, let's see. Her leg over here, that looks a little comical. Let's fix this. There we go. This would be a good place to use the airbrush, get it softer. Let's make this a bit hard and this a bit soft. All right, that works for me. Now we'll kind of vignette her whole body a little bit. Help kind of draw the attention upwards. And let's create a cast shadow. Down there. All right, that's looking better. Now I've played around with the idea of coming back and adding a highlight. I just didn't know if she's going to be behind this glass. So it kind of seemed like if I add a highlight to her, I probably need to go back and add highlights to everything, or else it's going to look a little odd. So at this point, I've just kind of made a blanket statement, like, or blanket rule where no highlights. Now I could go and add some lip color easily by doing the multiply layer, getting a little bit of a light peachy. And it's not going to make it light peach because it's multiply. It's going to darken it with a little bit of red. Watch this. We'll go, let's use our sponge brush at a very small level. There we go. There we go. I kind of feel like adding a highlight to the clothing or something. And I do think I added, I did this on the multiply layer, but I'm going to make it easier on myself because I don't know what color that is down there. I don't know what color I used on the multiply layer. Let's just make it super soft here. And there we go. And let's see, I think that's most of it. This one should have an interesting background. Why don't we just go ahead and create a layer just for the sound explosion coming out of her mouth. The intensity of the so she's gonna be screaming as loud as she can. What can we expect in this issue? Okay, so I did go over this a little bit earlier, but it's been a long time, and unless you tuned in to the very beginning of the video, you probably didn't. A lot of people are probably coming in now. The what's covered in this issue is going to be, well, actually, what's covered in this first half of the pre-order. I don't actually, I can't remember what's in the second half of this comic issue. I do know there's Hourglass expansion, there is Upper Body expansion, and that is, with the female upper body. What else is there? There is some nursing. There's some kind of like age play or age regression. There's a little bit of that, not much, and it's not like a huge thing, so I don't know how to advertise that. It's weird because I don't want to advertise it and have people get it just for that, and then I also want to advertise it so people don't get it and be like, hey, you didn't tell me there was going to be this in that. And there is, and so it's a weird line that I have to walk between upsetting people and letting people know and not getting their hopes up too much. Ryan's mom, she might make an appearance in the second half of this comic. She very might well make an appearance in the second half, but not in the first half. I don't think I can say too much more without giving away too much. But I did have a lot of help with the direction of this comic by Patreon comments back in the early days of April. I put up a post kind of asking what's your favorite thing to see in the Wendy Wonka series. And so I got a lot of good suggestions, and a lot of them actually worked into the story. So I hope patrons are happy with the comic and get some stuff that they asked for that they didn't realize they would actually be getting when they asked for it. I think that's a fun surprise when you're like, I might have actually changed the course of this comic. All right, so this was a candy cane. So I'll just put some like white stripes going down it, and then we'll be done with it. I love how her candy cane sort of like appears and then disappears. Like she's holding it in one scene and then the next scene it's gone. I that's how much I care about continuity. I just hope people aren't too focused on it. I think there's enough happening to where you might not notice. Yes. Well, and I'll point out that I have a very cheap Patreon. It's like $2, and I try to make everything available at the $2 tier, just so it basically does the artist no service at all to make it $1. So it's $2, but it's basically you get access to almost everything. And it doesn't really give you the ability to request sketch commissions during those months, but all the posts and everything, I basically just, if it's a post that's locked, it's unlocked at $2. I'm gonna pour a little bit more Pepsi. Oh, I said it because my throat's getting dry. I've been really tired today. Yeah, so that's also something I should probably touch on, is the sketch month is not next month, which is May, but starts June 1st. So June 1st will be another sketch month. The other cool news I have is the next commission I'm working on is another Wendy Wonka comic. It's going to be, I think, 2 pages, and it involves Win and Win's mom. It's going to be like a blueberry cow kind of issue, or 2-page comic. All right, let's see. Are we done here? There is going to be background in both the window and the room. Oh yeah, so I was going to do like this sound explosion. Okay, here we go. So I probably want a new layer. So I think might as well. Anytime I'm not sure, I just make it a new layer. It's always a safe bet. And I'm going to go ahead and I probably should select the entire area. Let's see what we can do here. I might as well just use like a crazy spotlight and play around with that first. That's a little too big. Still a little too big. Too small. The Goldilocks over here. And oh no, it didn't go on the new layer. I'm glad I caught that. Let's try doing something unusual. Screen is nice. I was thinking I was gonna go to hard light. Looks like something out of a horror movie where flies are coming out of the person's mouth. Yeah, I definitely like lighter than darker. Wow. I need a drink. Okay. We've got soundbar coming through here. Let's use some kind of crazy white, yellow. Let's get down to the gritty. We'll get bigger as it goes outwards. Can you hear me hitting the computer screen? Oh! Take this. Take that. I don't know. I might have overdone it there. Might have overdone it. I actually got out Star Wars Battlefront 2 like last week. I played it a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to just be like, I'm gonna get on for like 5-10 minutes. I don't have a multiplayer pass, like PlayStation Plus or anything. So I just get on and shoot some people, shoot some computers, and then get my fill of shooting. All right, let's see. We're going to go to maybe 400 with the eraser. Oh, no, that's not the eraser. Shoot. But have you been playing any Star Wars games? I used to play Galaxy of Heroes, and that feels like ages ago. And I'm so glad I quit that game. So glad. Oh, that made my life so miserable. I hated the hold it had over me. Okay. I'm not sure if this is making it better. Well, I don't know. That's I like that better than the. Do I? I think I do. It looks a little bit more like spit carried in the air. That would be funny if in the next panel she had spit dripping off of her face. That would be gross. Especially post-pandemic. Oh, you play Battlefront too. Elden Ring. Is Elden Ring a phone game? There's a phone game that I don't know how I got onto it. I really don't remember, but it's this numbers game. It's like a kind of like Tetris, but numbers, and you put a 2 on a 2 and it adds together and becomes a 4, and then you put a 4 and a 4 together and it becomes an 8, and you kind of stack them, and you I have been addicted to that game. I don't know. I feel kind of autistic playing it or something, but I think I've gotten up to like 172 quintillion or something. This is I died once, and this is my second time starting over, and I don't know why it's so addicting for me, but it's by Lin Huihu or something. Hunahu. Lin Hunahu. General Grievous. Yeah. I'm so glad I quit Galactic Battle, whatever, Galaxy of Heroes. That was such a pay to play game, and they just made everyone's life miserable unless you paid thousands of dollars. They were destroyed. I remember people making videos about how this, I'm now divorced, I lost my job, I'm broke, and that game was ruining people's lives. It still probably is. But anyways, let's see. That just represented everything that was evil to me about pay to play and EA, and I don't know. I love Star Wars, and it seemed to be destroying Star Wars. You could do so much better than that. Okay, I'll stop, griping about that. Let's see what we're gonna do here. I was kind of thinking maybe exploring another brush. Okay, that's twinkles. We don't want twinkles. It's more twinkles. What is this? Oh, no, we don't want that. That's I think I did that maybe for... I don't remember why I keep that brush. That's an interesting brush. Okay, what is this? Oh, that's just a textury brush. Don't need that, don't need that. If I was going to do something, I think it would be... This kind of bounces around. Yeah, there. Seems like it intensifies some of it. I can probably erase the parts that are kind of blocking your face. And I really wanted to make that more intense. I think I'm going to try something drastic. And I really like the vignette effect. That's French for spotlight. Something like that. What is that French for? I'm sure it's a French word. Okay, we're going to make this. This needs to be a new layer. I'm racking up the layers. All right, multiply. Let's go something like red. Go intense. So now we would sort of work backwards. And I think this is not gonna turn out good. I might end up just erasing all this. So this is experimental, but gotta keep it fun. Okay, here we go. I'm using this like cloud type of brush. And I'm wondering if multiply is not even right. I think it is actually. Basically luminosity is what I was going for, but I don't know what that's doing to her dress. Okay. Whoa. Color burn, that's crazy. Linear burn. See, the problem is darkening the glass, and it's sort of taking away from the side story over here. We don't want that to happen. So I might just kind of erase a lot of that. And let's go ahead and desaturate it. And play around with how intense it is. I feel like I might kind of lighten it up around here. Just for fun. I think red is the best. Okay, so I'm gonna increase the size of this brush. Let's go back to the normal size. And basically erase most of it over here. So the story of the girl inside the glass is not lost. Because that's half the story. Basically, we want to see what's happening over here more than we see what's happening over there, but we don't want to only see one of the stories. Okay. I think that's gonna do it. I think. Now, I might be shooting myself in the foot by doing this. I think this is all orange in the same layer, but I'm going to take this out. And we're going to darken this a little bit because that's just kind of what's going to happen in the background. You've never seen the background before, but that's what's going to happen. And I should probably close out that. And there we go. But I need to, let's remove that. I want to soften that a little bit. That's really harsh. Oh shoot, this is going to be difficult. I basically don't want there to be any line right there at the dress, so it doesn't feel like it cuts too harshly. Oh, I probably should feather it too. I'm gonna feather 4, and then just come down pretty strong right there, and that way. Well, that didn't work much. Maybe I should have feathered it more. There we go. And you might do something like a blur. Use the blur tool. Where is that blur tool? Where are you? Get yourself over here. There he is. And you could just do like that to it to soften it, because it's really distracting when it's so harsh. And it feels very wrong to me. Oh, Elden Ring. So that's like a single player game for the. I'm having a brain lapse. I don't remember what you call like Xbox and PlayStation. What is that called? Like a console game. Yeah, I guess that's what it's called. I feel like there was another term for them. But yeah, if I have time to sit in front of the TV, I usually watch something funny. I really prefer comedies nowadays. So I watched all of the. Well, actually, I still have one episode to go. There's something on Peacock with Snoop Dogg, and he does, what is it, like it's like the Darwin Awards for stupid criminals. What is that show called? But it's too dumb to be criminal or something like that, and I have been really enjoying that. Jim Jeffries is on 2 episodes, and he's hilarious. I love Jim Jeffries. He should be on every episode with Snoop. But anyways, that's been a fun show to watch. I sometimes watch and rewatch episodes of The Office, comedy movies. But these days, I just need something that will make me laugh because I can't handle any more drama. My brain's gonna break from all the drama. Okay. So we have finished our work for this part of the comic panel. Let's go ahead and put that back up. And let's see if we should lighten that up. Yeah, I think that's a little better blend, not so intense. It does kind of add to that explosion coming out of her mouth. Again, the explosion is coming out of her mouth, not the other way in. So, I feel like I should probably enhance the lettering. I might have to do a little bit of research into my comics to see how other people do it, because that would be fun. It's always a good area to grow in whenever you're like, it doesn't feel quite done. I want to go research, see how other people do it, and try to get some ideas. But yeah, that is going to be it for this live stream. Thank you all for dropping in and keeping me company. And I hope I was able to keep you company and answer some of your questions. If you have any more before I sign off, shoot them at me. And if not, you can always leave a comment on Patreon or DeviantArt or Twitter. Again, this is coming out pre-order. First 8 pages will be ready in like 2 days from now, Saturday, April 30th. One thing I've really been wondering is when the Johnny Depp trial is going to be over. I really want to know the outcome of it, and I am really hoping there's some good news for Johnny. Come on, Johnny. Come on. All right. Thanks for dropping by, guys. I will see you next time, and I'll see you around the Twitterverse and the Patreonverse and the DeviantArt world. See you guys next time.